Welcome to the HRIS Careers Podcast with your host, Troy Wallace, a podcast for human resources information systems professionals to help you elevate your HRIS career. We always say no one gets into HRIS on purpose, but it sure is interesting to find out how they did. We interview your HRIS peers to find out how they got tricked into the industry and what lessons and tools they use to progress their careers along the way. We discuss industry trends, AI, and even talk candidly about all the most popular HRIS platforms. Just think of it as the closest bar just outside the entrance of your favorite HR technology conference. Now you get it. Welcome in. Welcome to the HRIS Careers Podcast, a podcast built for human resources information systems professionals, where we interview your HRIS peers, experts, and HRIS vendors to help us all progress our career and stay up to date on all the leading edge industry trends. I am your host, Troy Wallace, an HRIS practitioner for over 25 years, and I've had a front row seat to it all. Client server, cloud, and now AI. I've been an HRIS analyst, manager, director, and now an independent consultant in my own HRIS consulting business. We want this podcast to cover three main things. Number one, we'll interview your HRIS peers to share information on how they got into HRIS in the first place and what has helped them progress throughout their careers. Number two, industry experts from specific HRIS platform vendors, have them share future direction of their products and what skill sets are in the highest demand right now. And number three, and maybe the most important, is we want to have real candid conversations, HRIS professional to HRIS professional, about what's going on in the industry, our experiences with HRIS systems, and other related products. I always say no one gets into HRIS on purpose. You may have the same experience in your career. We've all experienced our spouses or college friends or parents of kids in the school pickup line may look at you blankly when you're trying to explain what you do for a living. This podcast is going to be our therapy session, a safe place to nerd out about everything HRIS related. If you're a current or aspiring HRIS professional or need to hire HRIS talent, then HRIS Careers is the podcast for you. Of course, our close-knit cousins in HR and payroll will get a lot out of it as well. But again, we want this to be a great community for HRIS professionals. We're going to have the podcast. Obviously, we will be on all the podcast streaming platforms. So please follow us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, YouTube, any place you consume podcasts. We would certainly appreciate it. And this may be the most important part. We really want this podcast to be about you. So if you are willing to share your story of how you got into HRIS, any challenges you've had, career victories, great tools, we want to hear from you. So please, if you're willing to be on the show, go to HRISCareers.com/podcast, and there'll be a form there to fill out, or there'll be a little widget to leave a voice memo, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. And the last thing before I sign off is we just want to have a lot of fun with this. So we have plans. Obviously, we're doing the podcast. If there is interest from the community, we will start a platform or an online community so we can all share things online. Again, please feel free to reach out to me at Troy, Troy.Wallace, Wallace, at HRISCareers.com with any ideas or interest, or if you're willing to be on the show. Otherwise, go check out the first couple episodes that are already out there. We have Lou Salage, who has a wonderful story about going from really a finance payroll director all the way to starting his own consulting business that has over 60 employees. And then we also do a interview with yours truly, and it's not me doing the interview, but it is an AI version of myself doing the interview. So that's pretty interesting as well. All right, we'll see you all out there.
Here we go.